I am one of the 300,000 Black women who have lost their job in 2025, and I have some thoughts.
Let's see. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by, supporting your girl on this channel. So all credit goes to the creators in these videos. And guys, in today's video, so in this year 2025, a number shook America. 300,000 Black women have either left voluntarily or have been pushed out of the workforce in just a few months. And unemployment rate for Black women has jumped to more than 6%, and that is the highest it has been in nearly 4 years. And that is almost double the rate for white workers. Guys, it looks like this is not another labor statistics. It looks like something deeper is happening in the American economy that is eating Black women the hardest. Because why are many Black women being pushed out? Let's see what these creators have to say.
Did you know that in just 3 months, 300,000 Black women and femmes left the labor force? Yeah, in just 3 months. And that's not a coincidence. That's what happens when Trump's policies come for us first. He gutted federal jobs where Black women have always found stability. Things like education, healthcare, public service, jobs that came with benefits, a pension, a little thing called security. Poof, they're gone. And then came the DEI purge. Mentorship programs gone. Employee resource groups shuttered. Networking opportunities blocked. Basically, they've ripped out every ladder that Black women and femmes have used to climb. Student loan debt payments are back and have doubled. Mine have doubled. Black women also carry the heaviest debt load of any group because they're one of the most highly educated groups but don't have the same resources to get through school debt-free. And once in the workforce, Black women and femmes only are making about 64 cents to every white man's dollar. Automation is also taking over jobs where Black women have been overrepresented while we're excluded from the high growth tech roles replacing them. And here's the gag. Over half of all Black households with children are led by Black women and femmes breadwinners. I'm the breadwinner for my household, and every 1% drop in women's workforce participation costs the U.S. $146 billion in GDP. So when they push us out, the whole economy loses. And yeah, I'm feeling it personally. I mean, I left my job to do justice work, environmental justice, racial equity, community empowerment, and I've trained orgs, helped build programs, help communities fight back. But many of the organizations that I've worked with have backed away from this work out of fear. And that means that my contracts are vanishing. My income is tanking. And the work that I was told was too important to lose suddenly isn't being funded. And it's especially disheartening because meanwhile, I see fascists that are losing their job for saying something racist and boom, suddenly they have $1 million GoFundMe. But when justice workers are losing their livelihood for telling the truth, I'm seeing crickets.
It is no secret that being a Black woman in America is ghetto, period, point blank. But being a Black woman in the workforce, the masking that you have to do, the microaggressions that you have to fight, the code switching that goes on, all of the things, the hoops and the mental gymnastics that you have to go through in office, navigating social interactions with your coworkers is exhausting. If I was in office and had braids in my hair, my white male supervisor would loudly make a comment in front of anybody else who was in the office saying, "Oh, you switched up your hair. I almost didn't recognize you." Of course, this in turn makes people turn around, making you feel ostracized, making you feel put on the spot for literally the hair that grows out of your head and wanting to do a different style. Meanwhile, he's over there with 4 pieces of hair and a hairline that search and rescue is looking for, but I'm the one that's being put on display. Right. All of this to say, being part of the 300,000 Black women who have been let go from the workforce, I was a federal government contractor. I feel kind of lost in this moment. I've been applying. You all know how the job boards are looking these days, and I feel so liberated and so lost at the same time. Being in the workforce since 2015 when I graduated from college and working in mainly predominantly white spaces, the more I learn about the nervous system, the more I realize how wrecked mine has been and was, and all of which led up to that in my professional career. And if we even want to take it a step back, going to a PWI, and if we even want to take it a step back, it would be growing up as a suburban Black girl. That the 300,000 Black women in losing their jobs have been able to at least rest more than you have been before. I'm trying to find the balance between beating myself up and frantically looking for a job and actually letting my nervous system take a beat and realize what I had been going through and what I'm continuing to go through and what it was doing to me. And giving myself the gift of a calm nervous system is all I really want at this point, besides a paycheck. It's all I want for myself and for women who look like me. I'm doing my best not to tie my worth to the job that I had, the way I lost my job, and trying not to tie my worth into how quickly I can find a job. And these things happen now more than ever, and that there is a community of women out there that are going through the exact same thing I'm going through. Just trying to find the peace of mind that I need to operate in 2025 as a Black woman. So if you too are part of the 300,000 in the DMV area who have lost their jobs, I'm here too. And I see you because I am you.
Oh, y'all! 300,000 Black women in the United States lost their jobs. 300,000 Black women in the US lost their jobs. So I came across some articles covering this subject. Some of them said that they were laid off, and others said that they volunteered to leave due to something that was going on in the workplace. But I vote for layoffs. One of the women is actually here on TikTok, and in her video, she was talking about how things went in her job, and she came on crying her eyes out. She was crying her eyes out, and she was basically saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have a second job. I don't have a backup, nothing. But you see what I mean? This is what happens when you don't have a plan B. When it comes to your money, you have to have a backup. Whether it's a side gig, side hustle, or whatever you're doing extra with your time. Because your 9-to-5 job, the one that you consider secure, is not actually secure. It's not guaranteed to uphold for the next 3 to 5 years. Something and anything can happen, whether it be your manager doesn't like you, your coworker doesn't like you, or you did something wrong. Anything can happen to trigger them firing you or laying you off for whatever reason they have to let you go. And then guess what? You're the one left standing empty-handed. And I really felt sorry for this girl, because a lot of times Black women, we're hard workers. We are hard workers. So for a mass layoff of 300,000 Black women specifically is absolute madness. And I'm pretty sure most of those women don't have a backup. They're probably going to have to fall to relying on family or begging out of the pockets of others, or picking up loans or doing something else that's a lot worse than a side hustle. I can tell you that much. These are the times that we're in, and if we don't smarten up now and learn to help ourselves, especially as women, not just Black women, but as females, we're fucked. This is why I always implore to my friends to have a backup for how they're going to earn extra money or earn income, because anything can happen with your...
Guys, I feel there's not just one reason why many Black women either left work this year or were fired this year, because there's just a mix of problems happening at the same time, either be it economic, political, what have you. Government job cuts. Thousands of federal jobs were eliminated, especially in agencies where all these Black women once worked. And these jobs were steady for them. They provided benefits, and now many of them are gone. Also, DEI rollback. Companies across the country are ending diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. And all these programs, as we know, helped open doors for Black women, and it gave them support. And without this program, many of these black women felt isolated and they felt pushed out. And let's not even talk about family costs in even this economy we are living that is so expensive, and childcare. Daycare is now so expensive that so many mothers cannot even afford to work. And on top of that, all these rules about returning to office after childbirth to just make it difficult and hard for them to be able to balance job and family life. And technology, we know technology now, right? Hiring is now done with AI systems, and studies show that these systems often filter out names that often sound black, right? And the pressure is mounting, okay? Because mothers are feeling it the most. They are saying that they want to work, but when you want to work and the daycare costs, right? The daycare cost of your child costs more than your paycheck. What do? Sometimes you don't have a choice, okay? So, but I know my black women, we are strong, we are bold, we are beautiful, we are courageous, and we are not disappearing, because when there is a will, there is always a way. So there's resilience. So if they close their tables saying you cannot eat on this table, you know what we do? We build our own table.
I just came across a content creator talking about how and why Black women are being laid off from their corporate jobs in such large numbers. And she says it's because they never wanted us there. And that is so true. You guys, I used to be an accountant. I've worked in the corporate space and I've worked in the government space. They don't want us there. You know, when I used to get hired by jobs and shortly after I started, it would just be weird vibes. I used to say, you know, I think they only hired me because they have a secret bet going around of how long I will stay or how long I'll put up with the bullshit. And I'm a person that has high self-esteem and a very low tolerance for bullshit. You are not going to play on my head, stop. You're not going to play in my face, play on my intelligence, treat me a certain kind of way. You're not going to throw rocks and hide your hands. I mean, I don't have any patience for spiritual or psychological warfare. So you can imagine I did not stay in corporate very long. And when I say not long, I mean like less than 3 years. I did not stay in corporate long because it is psychologically and mentally draining. This is why so many of us have an issue with autoimmune disorders, or again, trauma and health problems, and our nervous system is so destroyed, and it's because we are in spaces where we are not wanted, and the people are letting you know that silently. And it's not silently, but they're doing, again, little pesky things, or they're leaving you out of meetings, or they're quiet, firing you, or again, they're putting you in uncomfortable situations. Or my favorite one, they have a mess going on and they only hire you to clean up the mess. Like, we deserve better. Imagine going to school and getting into debt only to be at a company as the cleanup girl, or only at the company to be the scapegoat, or only at the company as the diversity hire. Like, we deserve better. We need to stop begging for acceptance and begging to be in rooms that we're not wanted. Corporate America is not made for Black people. They don't want us there. We need to stop seeing white people's version of success as our version of success. Their rules don't apply to us. They have privilege that we do not have, that we will never have. You will never win playing a game that was never designed for you to play. We are not meant to be in their spaces. We need to continue to pour back into ourselves and our own communities. White people don't want you in their space, and they only hire you to traumatize you and for their own sadistic pleasure. Stop begging to be in places where you're not wanted. Break the chains of Martin Luther King's whole dream of integration. They don't want to integrate with you. They hire you to traumatize you and fire you. If you keep playing their game, they're still in control of you.
Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I believe that this wave of 300,000 Black women leaving the workforce is not just about jobs. It's about value. It's about who America sees as worth investing in. Because the truth is very simple. When Black women win, everybody wins. because black women uphold the families, they uphold the communities, they uphold the whole industry, and their labor has kept this country running from the fields to the factories and the front line of the pandemic. So the question is that, will America keep treating black women as only, in quotes, essential only in times of crisis, then they dispose them when it's convenient? Or will this nation actually finally build a system where black women are appreciated for their work, for their brilliance, and for the lives that they impact? Because the bottom line is that pushing 300,000 black women out of jobs is not just a loss for them, it's a loss for the entire nation, and I don't think America can afford that kind of loss, or I stand to be corrected. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I need to hear from you. If you have found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Mental health is important. Ciao.